Hello everybody, Chris here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you 5 very important things to look for when you're going to be shopping for VPN. So obviously if you go to any VPN services site, which there are many of at the moment, they'll all kind of advertise why they're the best service. But these are the 5 things that you really need to look for when you're considering VPNs. And the first one to start with is the speed of the VPN that you're going to be connecting to. So you have your internet bandwidth speed, that's whatever speed you have connecting to your telecom, but you're going to be speed limited once again by the VPN because your internet traffic needs to go through your VPN service. So if your VPN only allows you to download, let's say 10 megabytes or megabits per second, but your internet service provider provides you 35 or 40 megabits per second, then you're actually going to be limited by the lower of those two numbers, the 10 megabits, while you're connected to a VPN. Now, that can be fine in a lot of cases if you only really mean to stream YouTube videos and you don't necessarily need like 180p quality, or you just want to browse some internet websites or connect into and log into some different services. Then you don't need a massive amount of internet speed. But if you want sites to load fast, you want to do anything heavy like big downloads over your VPN, then it's going to be a real issue for you. So for any VPN that actually has a free service, such as Windscribe gives you up to 15 gigabytes of free data. You can actually just log into their free service and give their service a speed test before you actually commit to buying. So even other services which don't necessarily have free accounts, they'll usually have some kind of free trial. So I think CyberGhost right now is running with a 7-day free trial. CyberGhost I found to be pretty solid in the past, and if you do want to see some comparisons that I've already done, I'm going to include a link as a card, which you can click on in the top right hand corner of the video in order to see that video where I already did a few speed tests for you guys. But yeah, putting that aside, if you can do a free trial or you can try it out for free, it's a good idea to go ahead and do some speed tests on their servers and actually see what kind of download rates and upload rates you get. For the record, I did this test a little while ago that was for Windscribe, so it's not too bad there, though I have gotten better rates with CyberGhost. Beware of any VPN that would give you below 10 megabits per second. So another really big one is which devices does that VPN support? So some VPNs are Windows Mac only. So for instance, Avira Phantom VPN does not have a Linux client, which is kind of a problem for someone like me who actually likes to use Linux quite often. So you have to be careful about that kind of thing because it might work fine on Windows, but if you want to connect it to other devices, not only Linux, but also things like Android, iPhone, or if you wanted it to be set up on your router directly. There are also other alternatives to necessarily having a built-in client app, such as connecting through OpenVPN Protocol, where basically on any Linux, if you have an OpenVPN configuration, which you can download through certain VPNs, you can just load that, and then you can connect to the VPN without even having an app installed on your computer. But a lot of people are actually going to prefer to have a simple, easy-to-use client. So like for instance, Windscribe here, you want to launch the Windscribe VPN, you just open the app, you hit the on button, and you connect. Very, very simple. But clearly the most important thing is going to be to make sure that it's supported on all of the operating systems that you want to use, including mobile. So don't forget, if you want to have it on your mobile phone too, make sure it has Android iOS. So number 3, and this is another pretty big one, is the number of servers which that service has. So every VPN service needs its own network of servers in order for you as the user to put your IP in various countries throughout the world, whether that's for unblocking or just for privacy. The bigger VPNs, the more well-known ones, are obviously going to have more servers and more countries that you have available to connect to. So that's really useful for multiple reasons. Firstly, if there is a server closer to where you actually live in the world, then it's very likely that that server you're going to be connecting to reasonably close by is going to give you better connection speeds. And if you want to, for some reason, play a game behind a VPN, then it will give you a much better ping to that server than, say, if you're connecting to a VPN server half across the world. Also, some sites may require you to be in a certain country, so having more countries unlocked for you to be able to go to as a server means that you can basically be in more countries virtually, which means you have more options available to you in terms of what sites you can and cannot visit. So pretty much any VPN site out there will have a list of servers somewhere you can look through, kind of make sure that it has the ones you want. Even if a lot of these are probably servers you would never connect to, more is almost always better. Okay, so number 4, and this is another big one, especially for people who value privacy. Does the VPN keep server-side logs or not? So if you're buying a VPN for privacy, not having logs is going to be better. So basically the idea here is that if the servers do not keep logs, then there's less traceable information about what you've been doing, which means that your privacy is enhanced over having a VPN that does keep logs and may decide to share those logs to external organizations, whether private or public in the future. So just as another feature to maximize your privacy, no logs is going to be the way to go. Okay, and number 5, and this is something to watch out for, especially if you want to use your mobile phones, or especially if you might want to share your VPN plan with family members or extra computers in whatever kind of office environment you're using. The number of supported devices based on the plan that you're purchasing. So some VPNs will actually only allow you to have one connected device on their most basic plan, which would be the cheapest. And they might make you upgrade if you want to have, let's say, 3 devices or 5 devices. So you have to be careful about that kind of thing, because if your plan only allows you to have one device, then that means you can only have like your Windows machine connected. It would mean that you can't also have your Linux installation or your Linux computer connected, because you can only have one device. So that also means your mobile phones can't connect, or you have to have a separate VPN for your mobile devices. So it's just a good idea to make sure that the number of supported devices is at least as many as the number of devices you might think you're going to connect. So that might seem pretty obvious, but it is something to really watch out for. It's best if you can find a plan that allows you to have 5 devices or more. Unlimited devices would obviously be the ideal, but I can't think of a service that I've seen actually offer that. So if you can find 5, you're doing pretty good. Okay, and just really quick for bonus points here, keeping in mind the price of the plan that you're actually thinking of buying, and not just the base price, like the monthly fee, which is obviously going to be higher when you're talking about 1 month at a time. But you should really think of it in how long you want to purchase a VPN for. So the discount you get when you purchase 1 year or 2 years at a time is almost always going to be a very massive discount on the base price. So here you can see CyberGhost. If you buy over 2 years, it's $3.50 a month, down from $12 a month. So if you're comparing VPNs and you think you might get 1 year, 2 years, or even a lifetime subscription, those do exist. Then really compare the actual price at the number of years you want to bill at, not the base monthly fee. So for instance, a service might say that it's $10 per month base, but then only give you a 50% discount when you're talking about billing for 2 years, which would come out to $5 a month, which would actually be more expensive than $12 a month, discounted down 71% to $3.50 a month for 2 years. So do keep that in mind as well. So obviously the 2 VPNs I'm kind of featuring in this video, CyberGhost VPN as the one I've liked the best so far in terms of premium paid VPNs, and then Windscribe I think is really cool because obviously their free plan, which is completely free, can get you 15 gigabytes of bandwidth per month, which is a lot more than other completely free VPNs. So I'll include some links to those down in the description. I hope this video has kind of helped you to shop around for VPNs a little bit smarter. Obviously, if you want to revisit any of the points, I'll include basically all this information over here in LibreOffice in the description as well. So I've been Chris, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my future video content.